So I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I love to read or I've been reading since I was a little kid, and on my days off I like to read a book. Like I can't wait to go read, because if I told you that, I would be lying. But there were a few books in my life that really got my attention. And today I'm going to talk about three of those books. These books really came into my life around my adulthood, because that's around the time I start to wonder, what is it like to truly build wealth? And these books helped me get in the mindset for that. But not only in the mindset, but it actually put me in a position of building more wealth. And let me explain how it did that and maybe how it can do that for you. Let's get into it. And although I don't like to read, I do listen to these books on Audible. And no, this video isn't sponsored by Audible. I wish it was, but that is the way I consume books. So for those of you who don't like to really physically read the book, you could just listen to it on Audible. And with that being said, let's get into the first book, Shoe Dog. And Shoe Dog is a book about the co-founder of Nike, who is Phil Knight, which, if you don't know who he is, look him up. He's a pretty cool guy, pretty good entrepreneur in my opinion. And the reason why I love this book so much is basically the story of how Nike was built. And for anybody not familiar with Nike, which I don't know how that's even possible at this point, but if you're not familiar with Nike, it's the biggest athletic company in the world, biggest shoe company, I guess. I don't know what you would consider them nowadays, because they sell a lot of stuff, but they are considered a shoe company. But the book is based around Phil Knight's life and what he went through to build Nike, all the trials and tribulations and all the challenges he had, the ups and downs of the company. And when you could see that side of a company at the size of Nike and what the things they had to go through, it makes you feel like, wait, is this just the process of building a business? It shows you the ins and outs of a business and what it takes, because it went through a lot of roller coasters. Like a fun fact in the book, did you know that originally Nike was named Blue Ribbon Sports, and he changed the name to Nike after having a bad deal with Onitsuka, and that's why the company name is Nike, and he didn't like that name originally. Surprising. Crazy enough, not only did he not like the name, but he also didn't like the logo, the iconic swoosh mark. He didn't like it. So for anybody that's running their business right now that's a little skeptical, like, is this thing gonna work? This is one of those books that really will change your mindset and show you, wait, this is part of the process. Now, I don't want to get this confused with a failing business. If your business is failing and it doesn't have revenue or is not going in the right direction, then maybe you should pivot. But this is a good book to get you in the right mindset to understand that all businesses has their ups and downs. So keep going. We never know when your time can be your time. The second book I want to talk about really impacted me as a person, entrepreneur, business owner, whatever you want to call it. Even with this YouTube channel, this book helped me really bring this thing to life. And that book is The Power of Broke by Damon John. Yeah, the guy from Shark Tank. And the reason why this book impacted me so much is because although I didn't have all the financial literacy or I didn't have the financial backing like others did, it let me know that as long as I had the drive and I had the willingness to continue doing business and doing things of that nature, that I could possibly get to where I wanted to get without the money. Just, I have to be a little bit more strategic, and I have to do things in a manner where it actually was very effective. But I only thought the only way that you can get somewhere is if you had the money or knew the right people. With this book, it teaches you that being broke is not just simply not having a financial back end, but it also can be a disability. It could be discrimination. And clearly I'm not blind and I understand this world. There are certain people that get certain things. And this is not to say it's unfair for certain individuals, but there is a barrier to everything that we do. And this book shines a light on it, and it makes it to where it makes you not feel like, okay, wait, maybe there is a possibility that I can get the things I want out of life, especially when you're a young minority with no hopes and no financial backing, and you kind of see the wrong things surrounding you. So a book like this can shine light on a lot of different opportunities for people who don't feel like they have those opportunities. And the last book on this list is The Millionaire Fastlane. by MJ DeMarco. This book actually took me for a roller coaster because I didn't want to read it at first because I don't like books that say how to get rich quick. But this is not what this book is saying. This book is actually saying the opposite. It's actually saying getting rich quick isn't an issue. It's getting rich easy, which I actually agree with, because you can get rich fairly fast. And by quick in this book, they are referring to like 7 to 10 years. And for most, they would think, well, that's not quick. That's actually a long time. But if you think about it, most people, before they become a professional in anything that they do, it takes around that amount of time. And that's exactly how it panned out in my life. And the thing that I make the majority of my revenue from, I would consider myself now a professional in, and I do make a decent amount, but it took me first mastering the skill. And that's another part about the Millionaire Fastlane. The book is not referring to come up with a get rich quick scheme, but really build a skill, build a business. And it takes time, fail a little bit, and keep trying. But there's a lot of different concepts within this book that you would have to read to really grasp it. It's 3 categories of people. And the 3 categories they talk about in the book are the sidewalkers, the slow laners, and the fast laners. And it's pretty self-explanatory. The sidewalkers are the people that's just watching, bypassers, people that talk, just down about people who are trying things. Slow laners are people who invest into the stock market and wait till they get rich by 65. And then you got the fast laners, people who plant their money tree to grow to eventually bear the fruits of their labor. And that is the concept of the Millionaire Fastlane. But majority of people, especially nowadays, they take the route of the sidewalker, really just throwing rocks at the people who try, or the people who even want to make their wealth in a slow manner and just do it the traditional way, which I don't see no problem with, especially if you're doing it in the right manner. And of course, I didn't go into that much detail on these books, but if y'all are interested in reading any of the books that I stated, you can check out the link below, and I have all these books in there and a few others if you would like to check them out. It does help the channel out, so I would appreciate it tremendously. But to be completely honest with you, just because you read a book does not make you wealthy. It's not going to make you wealthy. It may change your mindset, which will help you go into the direction where you could possibly get to a point where you become wealthy. But just simply reading a book will not do anything for you if you do not put the action in from the book. So keep that in mind if you read any book or even watch any motivational videos. Understand that it's only effective if you actually put in the work that was said in the video or in the book. So keep that in mind whenever you're trying to do anything in life. But with that being said, I'll see y'all on the next one.